7 days of rest and sacred renewal. The 5th annual global event for the healing and thriving of Earth and all her inhabitants. During the first 7 days of the new year, we unite around the world to renew ourselves and our sacred bonds with each other and with all of life, with uncompromising commitment to living the truth of who we are. We rebirth ourselves, individually and collectively, as wise and loving stewards of creation. Together, we lay the foundations and prepare for a new era of love and wisdom in action.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of Rest in Resonance. This is our offering in the 7 days of rest and sacred renewal global event that's happening all around the world. And we're so grateful that you're joining us today. Gary, I'm going to add your spotlight. I wanted to tell you, I didn't tell you this, but we have over 1,000 people now have registered for this event. Who are joining us in this sacred time, and I'm so grateful to be doing this with you. And I love today is about nourishment. I really feel, as I woke up this morning, I thought, in order for us to really move into this deep state of rest and sacred renewal, one of the most important things is that we begin to nourish ourselves in all the ways that we do. And I think maybe you're like me and many others, where we kind of put that last sometimes, where our own nourishment, gets co-opted by our service. And I think the same, you mentioned about Clint today, who's our guest. And I really want to invite all of us that in this moment that we claim that our own nourishment, that our own sacred nourishment at every level is what we commit to first and foremost. Today, especially, but let's make that a commitment this year that if we're nourished, then the nourishment that we can provide into the field and to all of life will be enhanced. So that's my prayer today. I'm so grateful. I'm going to nourish myself today, and I really hope that this next 75 to 90 minutes for everyone who's listening right now live or on the recording, that this time nourishes you in a way that is so deep and true.
I'm just going to say, aho, that will be the most nourishing.
Yeah, I love you, Gary, and I'm really grateful to be partnering with you in this rest and resonance. And I know that you're going to just take us every day a little bit of deeper into why rest and resonance.
When I recognized in all the ways that I've learned from Kimberly and Foster in the movie about the unified field, and I realized that the common denominator of all life is vibration, I've gotten clearer and clearer that vibrations itself is the coagulation factor that will bring everything together in a way that the body can't lie about, or the soul can't lie about. It's either the tuning fork is truly true without any alloys, or it isn't. And when we own our vibrational home, our literally the way we live in as vibrational beings, we cultivate the art of sensing resonance in a way that goes beyond the mind and the ego and the stories. And we resonate. And so thanks to Sarah McCrum, with whom I've created these transformances, you're about to see the Attunement video that we shared as a way to presence. But Sarah has really helped me lean into the skid of my mainstream news addicted reality that the attention spans of human beings can't extend beyond 2 minutes before you got to fill it up, pal, fill it up. Yeah. Come on, don't let them drop, And this is so opposite that I myself have had to recognize that, of course, we offer what we need to learn most. So the music that you're hearing, a lot of this is me getting in the last 30 years where that I have been attempting to experience a direct knowing of my vibrational nature, almost in the footprint of the music itself. You can feel the yearning of the music that was created through me, to me, by me, but for me, to become one with what we're doing here in this week, which is why I said yesterday, it feels like coming home. The context of sacred rest and sacred renewal is what I've been leading to my whole life. So now I get to look back and think, oh, all this music that's been created in the last 30 plus years was my finding my way to rest and resonance. And that's what I'm hoping to share with today, this whole series with you. And can't imagine anyone I'd love to do it more with.
And also our beloved guest, Clint. Perfect day for you to come in and help us nourish ourselves, our hearts and our souls and our bodies. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're watching this now, there's a real exciting reason for it. And I'm so excited to share this next period of time with you and to discover what ancient secrets can literally change your life forever, nourish you in such a deep way that what if 2020 can be the healthiest year of your life, the happiest year of your life, the most abundance of your life. So thank you, Gary. Thank you, Teresa, for organizing this call to rest and resonance.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, Gary, how about taking us away into our centering? Everyone feel the bottom of your feet, settle deeply into your belly. Just let yourself relax.
So what I want to introduce is this attunement video that we created for World Unity Week last June. And it was based on the question, what if we human beings replace the ancient tribal fire with a multisensory media that honors the love of nature, the need for spaciousness, the vibrational frequency of loving awareness that reflected in the restful tones of harmony? And what if we all looked at it together? How does it change the way we remember our connection to one another in the field? And in 2 minutes, the experiment is, can we become aware of how we become more here, body, mind, heart, and soul, by sharing an experience with everyone else? And that's the experiment, the grand experiment we're working on with this video. So allow this 2+ minute. It's about unity, but if in your mind you think of the word unity as coherence, it's exactly the same place. So experience this.
You are invited to experience unity. It's time to put aside the differences that divide us. And embrace the beauty of each one of us being different, being unique, being ourselves. In the essence of who we truly are. A beautiful array of human beings across the planet. So many different ways of being human. So let us get to know each other. Let's spend time with each other. Let's learn from each other. And let's open our hearts to each other. And let's find the unity that exists right in the middle of the richness of our diversity. We are human. We are unique. We are one.
Thank you, Sarah and Gary, for these beautiful tools that help us to go deeper. And I'm going to play a little music, and I'm going to have Kaylin bring up our slideshow from yesterday. Just to take us a little bit more deeply into our rest today. And I want to start by inviting us to feel the bottom of our feet, connecting with the earth, our Mother Earth, who nourishes us in so many ways. When we come into resonance with the earth, we're naturally in coherence. And take this time to just really relax. Remember our fist yesterday, we're just like releasing our resistance. Bring your attention to your belly, just kind of really settling into your body today. Let this day be about nourishing every cell with the quality of your presence. I want to rest like this baby. Ah. And we're in a safe container so we can really open ourselves. Holy ground. This is holy ground we're in right now together. And let this experience of rest and nourishment radiate out like the concentric rings of this prayer spiral. Into your body, into your home. For the rest of this call, just Put your attention on breathing in and out of your heart. That's all. You take a deep breath right now and let out a sigh so that you can just soften just a little bit more. And I want to invite Gary in as we slowly drop the music. So Gary, we're just rested and we're opening and relaxing and we're ready. We're ready. We're ready to be nourished more through the magic of music and your sweetheart.
I just pierced through another layer of resistance to rest through that experience. I just want to thank you all for creating the field, the safety field, to realize a whole layer at which I was still holding. So I just burst through another layer, and it just feels so natural.
I could feel you, Gary, actually. I could feel the field. I think we all actually just let a little bit more space open up inside. Yeah.
So
yeah.
medicine you offer, Teresa, I've sensed it for so long, is such good medicine for this energy of letting go into the heart of it, you know. So what I'd like to share as we go deeper is that we all know that the body, the heart, the soul, the mind carries unhealed wounds and traumas. We all know that the body keeps score and doesn't lie, right? And the heart and soul too. So in the spirit of being ready to open the container for even more of our ability to nourish ourselves, the great counterintuitive paradox is we need to open to the field of loss in order to awaken and resonate the parts that are hiding inside little crevices of our bodies, minds, hearts, and souls. So just there, it's almost like like when my sister died 11 years ago, I call her Sundays often and say, hey, you want to go to a movie? And there were parts of my brain that didn't know that she had died. And I, out of habit, called her. And it's almost like my sister represents the parts inside of us that haven't gotten on the bandwagon of your new commitment to a deeper level of unity inside of you. So this next recording, which Dr. Clint Rogers, when I asked him, my beloved friend, what he loved, and this is one of the things he really loves. And so we're going to honor Clint's request by also using it as a time to empty out with a deeper remembrance of how precious and fragile this life is.
Hey, Gary, before you start that, we just had some comments in the chat, and I just want to speak to them just for a moment.
Great. Okay.
Somebody was asking about what if I'm feeling sadness and unknowing, and I'll just say I've had so many waves of tears since we began, and I know that they're the parts of me that are just longing to relax, and they're parts that are still kind of holding a little bit. So if you're feeling the sadness or you're feeling anything, just keep breathing and just keep letting it come. And just know that it's what's letting go in order for the nourishment and the rest to arrive. Yeah. Thanks, Gary.
Perfect. I'm so glad you said that and brought that forward. Kaylin, when you can play, that's great.
has ever prepared us for this experience. We think it's the end. No. It's another beginning. Another beginning. It's knowing that you're loved. Knowing that you're loved. It's not easy letting yourself be loved. Of course, we've learned to judge ourselves. And we're always judging ourselves. But I learned to listen that I was loved. I was loved. And then I would forget that I was loved. Those were the most painful times for me. Forgetting that I was loved. So you've let yourself be loved while you've been here. And you've judged yourself. And you've forgotten that you were loved. And you became alone. But you will always be here. You are blessed. You are forgiven. You are an angel. You have to listen that you're loved. And you have to forgive all the time. Listen that you're loved. And forgive all the time. You are love. Farewell, my son. Farewell, my daughter. Farewell, my father. Farewell, my mother. Farewell, my sister. Farewell, my brother. Thank you for letting me love you. Thank you for letting yourself be loved. God bless you.
So let's just let that drop in. And notice how there's a porousness to the shared container and how it changes when we all let the cat out of the bag, that we're going to disappear one day and no one ever knows how or when, and how tender and receptive that makes us. So thank you for letting me start this Nourishment Day as we open. And before we bring Clint on, Teresa, I just wonder if you want to say anything after that.
I just love the feeling in the field where we all, I think, feel a little safer because the tears are coming, and this feeling of just kind of letting go is beginning to happen. You can feel it in the field. I hear it in your voice, Gary, and yeah, let's just keep letting it in. Let's keep letting it in. Let's keep letting it in.
So I want to welcome, honestly, one of my favorite human beings on the planet, my beloved friend and my co-creator in creating more peace and love on the planet, Dr. Clint G. Rogers. I knew right away when the word nourishment came up for the theme, there was no question. Depending on 40 places a year that you go, countries all over the world, where you're going to be reachable today. Thank you for joining us today, my friend. This is everyone, Dr. Clint Rogers. Hey, bright brother.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Teresa. As you were playing that track, it transplanted me to maybe 12 years ago. The first time I heard it was in a hotel room in Las Vegas, actually, where Gary had played this piece of music, and my friend and I were there attending this event, and they were holding a kind of a, I don't know, what do you call that? Like a room, I don't know. I don't even know the name of it, but they were holding something where they were sharing about this wisdom of the world and sharing these music tracks. And I remember when I heard that one, and I heard the one from Marianne Williamson, just had so many tears in my heart, and was just in the busyness of this business conference in the middle of Las Vegas, of all the places to drop from the head to the heart. And I just had tears flowing. I remember I told Gary, I was like, more people need to know, this is one of those things people should have experience of. And I remember the holidays were just coming up, Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I had heard that there's a lot of suicide and depression during the holidays. I said, why don't we just get this message out? Why don't we, and the name came to my mind, why don't we do something called 10 days to touch 10 million people? And we share some of these messages and just see how many people we can help during the holidays. And man, how much that night and that moment and the people we interviewed and everything that came after that, how life-changing it was. Just that impulse of love that was embodied in that musical experience, where instead of go, 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 we rested. We rested in the resonance of the heart. Gary has a song called Slowing Down to the Speed of Love. I love when he sings this song. I have that go through my mind many times when I'm so busy in the activities of life, and I forget sometimes the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I say, okay, I need to slow down now. I need to slow down to the speed of love. Gary, from my heart to your heart, thank you for your gift of your being, of channeling this music, of giving yourself the medicine that so many of us benefit from. This I like, you call it mediaceuticals. And I just want to share one of the moment came to me. I was with Gary at one of the most respected hospital conglomerates in the world in Houston, and he was presenting at what was one of these big sessions for all the doctors and nurses. And it was beautiful to see the receptivity of understanding that what if even music, in fact, they had done research at that hospital where just from music, they were able to decrease the amount of painkillers given to people, or certain medications given to people, just because they could rest in resonance. And then to hear Gary in that space share his gift from his heart about what if the world could change in certain ways, it was so inspiring, so powerful. So Gary, to witness you over all these years and have the gift of your presence in my life is priceless. There's no way I can ever describe. I do have some thoughts from that track. I don't know if you want me to share them now or you want to ask a question, but I just wanted to thank you, first of all, and thank everyone. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, everyone, for being on this call, for giving yourself these moments to savor, to rest in the savor of a vibration of love in which everything else, for these moments we're together, everything else can go away and you can start a new beginning on this new year. Nourishing beginning.
Well, you've given me a little of my medicine. I wasn't expecting you to regale these beautiful stories and acknowledgments. So thank you, my brother. So thank you. Yeah, I wanted you to move into now nourishment, right? Nourishment. And then as you talk about what nourishment is to you or share, just keep in mind that we have the recording that will probably have a beautiful experiential component to it. So I'll stay here and just enjoy hearing you talk. If you want to have the screen to yourself, it's all up to you. But I'm so enjoying myself. I am being nourished right now in real time by being present with you and sharing your beautiful being and your work to the world. I'm just so thrilled to have you here, man, my friend.
Yeah, I have this strong feeling that whoever's on this call right now, it's going to help you in such a profound way. And maybe not only you, but people that you love, and we never know. Every day is a gift. We don't know how long we have. As I was listening to that track and I was thinking about the journey with Gary and the journey with my teacher, Dr. Naram. So Dr. Naram here, he had a teacher who lived to be 125. His name was Baba Ramdas, who had a teacher. The original master was Jivaka, and Jivaka was the physician for Buddha. And this lineage, this unbroken lineage of thousands of years, that I captured in this book, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. It's a story about a Western skeptic, which was me, very skeptical, and I can go into that, about an Eastern master in life's greatest secrets. You never know when one secret or one of these ancient wisdoms can hit your heart in such a way that it changes not only your life, maybe even saves your life or saves the life of someone that you love. And as you were playing that beautiful track by Lou Epstein about letting yourself be loved, the opening quote in the book is just so apropos. It's, "I didn't come to teach you. I came to love you, and love will teach you." And so what if you let the impulse of love guide you? Like Gary and I did in that hotel in Las Vegas, 12 years ago, in the path that took me on. One of the people that I interviewed as a result of that 10 days to touch 10 million was this man, Dr. Naram. I didn't want to interview him. Gary and I, we had planned to interview football stars and, other celebrities and movie stars, all these people. And then one of the person who knew a lot of these people said, "I think you should interview this master healer." I was like, "Why? No, that sounds weird." I didn't want to interview it. It's like I was open to it because I respected the person, but it wasn't what I had in my mind. And the nourishment that came from that, not only for me, but literally for millions of people. We're going to listen to a track from Dr. Naram, and man, just this track is so nourishing. It can change your entire day, your entire year. So as I was listening to this track from Lou Epstein about, letting yourself be loved, and what would be the last words you would speak to someone you loved, if it was your last day on the planet. And I couldn't help but think about a story that was just shared with me a couple of weeks ago by a woman named Cindy. So Cindy's sister, Chris, had shared this book over Christmas as a gift, saying this was a gift of love she wanted to give. And as a result of sharing this book with someone, she actually won a pulse consultation with me. And when I was in Syracuse, New York, both her and the friend she gifted the book to had won this pulse consultation. Now, there was 100 people on the waiting list, and there was packed full. And so even the fact that she had the consultation was awesome. Now, her friend didn't want the consultation. And it's interesting, these moments in which we're loving someone, we're giving them a gift, we want them to experience nourishment, and they say, "No, actually, that's not my path." How do you love someone in that space where you feel like something can benefit them, you're giving it to them, and they don't want it? And to honor them and to love them in that space is a really powerful place. Now, Because her friend didn't want to accept the consultation, she invited her sister Cindy to come. So her sister Cindy came 1 year ago to Syracuse, New York, braved everything, was there in the cold and everything. And she said she was a bigger skeptic than me, actually. But she was starting to notice rheumatoid arthritis. In fact, had gone to the doctors and all the blood tests showed she had rheumatoid arthritis and made it hard for her joints to work, hard to function. And so she came for the post consultation, then started applying the ancient secrets. And one of the ancient secrets, Dr. Ram says, he says, if you change your food, you change your future. If you change your food, you change your future. She also joined a 100-day course in ancient secrets where she went really deep and learning about the principles, about how do you nourish yourself? Not only the food you feed yourself here, but the food you feed yourself here.
So Clint, one thing before I want to intervene, one thing, hold that thought. For all of us who are in the Global Coherence Pulse community, I want to be aware of the upper right quadrant of HeartMath's definition of coherence. What we're experiencing now, instead of the meditative part of flow and coherence, we're experiencing a man who's so on fire with his sense of purpose and service, and he's in the flow on the front lines. So that's the upper right quadrant of the athlete in their zone, right? So as we expand our awareness of nourishment, it can be relaxing and calming and deepening, but it can also be about the flow of the passion of this man doing what it makes his heart sing. So I want to bring our attention to the meta of what's surrounding this with Clint, because it's not meditative. We'll get there when we do the unstoppable track, but I just want to hold space for what's flowing towards us through the form of Clint. And Teresa, I can feel you here. I just want
to... Well, Gary, I coherence is also experienced as joy.
Right.
And that's what I'm receiving right now from Clint is his joy of this discovery. And some people have said already in the chat, Clint, that your book was a lifesaver. So we welcome your joy.
Yes, and forgive the intervention. I just wanted to contextualize what we're witnessing and receiving right now.
Yeah, thank you. And I am passionate about it because it does save lives and it changes lives. And there's some people on this call, you may not know this exists. At least I want you to know it's a choice. Cindy didn't know it was a choice. Her sister Chris brought her to this clinic, but she opened her heart enough to do an experiment. Because changing your food, changing your thoughts, changing the nourishment that's going here and here, sometimes it's one of the most challenging things because we have such habits, but she did it. To her credit, she did it. No matter how skeptical she was, she did it. And the one thing I wanted to emphasize is sometimes when you change your life, you don't realize how many other people it's going to change. When you heal yourself, how much it heals those around you. Actually, people in the world today are afraid of contagious. I say, watch out, because contagious healing is about to hit you. Contagious love is about to come your way. You're going to catch it if you're on this call. Very contagious. Now, Cindy, this beautiful woman, as she did this process, as she did this experiment, she says, let me just try this experiment. And as she did this experiment, she went back to the doctor and saw her blood test for showing her rheumatoid arthritis was decreasing. She felt her joints so much better, but something else happened in her heart. Her heart started opening up in such a beautiful way. And her husband, Bill, was a beneficiary of this. Her husband, Bill, all of a sudden started saying, what are you doing? What's happening? And in the space of the last year, they've experienced such profound healing, not just for her, but for her husband and for all those around him. It was about 2.5 weeks ago now, or 3 weeks ago. I'm bad with remember the exact time. It was a Sunday, and they're out for a walk together, and they saw this big ball of light in the sky with rainbows going all around it. And she said she remembered witnessing, God is here. God is with us. The divine is with us. The next 2 days, her husband, Bill, chopped all the firewood for the whole winter, did all the yard work, prepared everything. Tuesday night, kissed her, says, I love you, went to sleep. And in the morning, he didn't wake up. That was his last day on the planet, was just this beautiful expression of love and taking care of his wife. And what was so impactful for me was that Cindy didn't know this was the last year she was going to have with Bill, her husband. She didn't know. All she knew was she was doing an experiment to nourish herself in a different way. She didn't know that as a result of her getting rid of this rheumatoid arthritis, that her heart was going to open up into a space of love, that her husband was going to respond to. As a result, it would heal him. And so many things would happen from that. You know, on the calls, there was also a woman by the name of Sue Velasquez. And her sister found out about the book, joined the 100-day course, started doing everything. Because she was so passionate about it, her husband, Joe Velasquez, lost 40 pounds. All the pain in his body went away. And all the pain went away. And then he didn't know it, but this was going to be the last month of her life. And one of the last gifts she gave him was these ancient secrets in such a way that his pain was gone. All his chronic pain was gone, 40 pounds lighter. And when she transitioned, yes, it was so difficult, but she did it with such passion and love in following the ancient secrets. And she didn't know that was going to be the last month of her life. You know, in fact, Joe Velasquez, there's a recipe in here. It's full of recipes and home remedies. One of the recipes is for something called mung soup. These are these little green beans, you know, and when you eat them and when you prepare them in a certain way, the nourishment for the book, it was interesting because all the time his wife, Sue, had prepared it. And now she was gone. Now her body, she had departed her body. She had passed on. He says, I need to make that soup again because that's how I lost 40 pounds. That's how all the pain in my body went away. And he looked and he found the book, a cookbook, which was literally marked to the page for the mung soup, opened it up and made it for the first time. And again, felt that nourishing love from his wife. In fact, there's questions that are asked in the book. Every chapter has some questions that he asks. And it says, one of the questions says, what would you do if you only had 6 months left to live? And Sue had written in the book, I'd spend every minute I can with my beloved husband, Joe Velasquez. And when he opened up the book, saw this message written by his wife and saw this recipe, he's just like, wow, you know, the miracles that come. And I say, love like this never dies. You know, I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you, and love will teach you. And Sue Velasquez followed that impulse of love, and even beyond the grave is blessing not only her husband, but her whole family. Same thing with Cindy. You know, I was just in Colombia, and I did a clinic there, and one of the women there shared a story about how her father was addicted, you know, chemical addiction, and as a result, so much, basically, he was self-medicating. Hurt people, and as a result, he had hurt a lot of relationships in his life. You know, he had hurt the relationship with his wife and his kids and so many things, to the point he said he didn't want to live. You know, he wanted to surrender the gift of life and just escape, you know. And it's a sensitive topic because I know there's a lot of people that get sad and get depressed and don't want to live anymore. In fact, one of my dear friends just took his life recently within the last few weeks, and I'm processing that grief and processing that loss. And
Yeah.
this is amazing because this woman in Colombia, instead of just, you know, even with a torn relationship with her father, basically her mother started following the recipes in this book, started eating mung soup, and her father was watching her mom eat the mung soup, seeing all the changes happening as a result of it. So he started. And the most beautiful thing happened. I'm just making the story short, but he lost all of his addictions. You know, the ingredients pulled the toxins out of the body, where he lost the cravings for those unhealthy things.
Yeah.
As a result, he healed the relationship with his wife and all his kids. He lost weight, more energy, more life. And for me, I'm thinking, man, someone on this call right now, you're listening to this now for a reason. What if healing can be delicious? What if healing is not only possible, deep healing can not only affect you physically, but mentally and emotionally, it can happen in a way that's delicious.
Clint, thank you for your joy and your passion. And honestly, what you've inspired me is that I'm going to do a call just you and me sometime, because we are, after all, passionate about the integration of heart, body, mind, and soul in all the ways we can. And so I'd like to segue, if we could, to the experience that you're about to set up. But I just want to say one thing, that after I had a stent put in my heart in December of 18, Dr. Naraman Clint gave me the gift of a panchakarma experience in Mumbai. And was life. It was a life-changing experience. And I've downslided since then, and I've been having resistance. But this thing that Clint said was, well, I don't understand. People are saying, 80% of what I put in my gas tank is gasoline, and the other 20% is, cookies and chips and whatever. I don't understand why my car's not running properly. It's only 20% that's not gas. And I just want to thank you for helping me understand the nourishment, the gift we give to ourselves, body, mind, heart, and soul, the gifts that come when it's 100%. Really closing that gap is one of the things I've really learned about that from you. So would you set up the Unstoppable track a little bit of where I just small so we can get onto the experience, because it's a 14-minute dive, you guys. So it's something we're going to really relish and nourish ourselves with. Introduce this track, if you would, Clint.
Absolutely. The analogy Gary was sharing is that, what if you had a Porsche or a Lamborghini and you put 80% gasoline, but only 20% yogurt, cookies, cake? The machine's not going to work very well. Same thing with your body and your mind. Not only the food you feed yourself here, but the food you feed yourself here. Before Dr. Naram passed away, Gary Malkin was in India and recorded in the studio a track called Unstoppable. And it's one of the best foods you can ever feed your mind and your heart. And if you listen to this every morning, it can change your life. This could be the best year of your life. It can be nourishment on all levels of being. And so I'm so grateful. I was just in a home New Year's Eve with a couple that Gary had come to their home, and then they were struggling with such a big challenge. And the medicine, I said, I think your medicine is listening to this track. And the miracle of that moment that Gary called, the right moment, right before I was arriving at their home, right when he had been in their home, right when Gary had recorded this track, put it to this music, this track, and hearing these words are so impactful. I invite you to open your heart in this moment to a greater possibility than maybe you ever imagined possible in 2022, when you nourish yourself, when you love yourself. Let the impulse of love guide you, and trust that as you love yourself, it will help everyone around you. Oh, you're muted, Gare. I don't know if you...
Beautiful. All right, everybody, experience the medicine and the beauty of Dr. Naram, and me and Timothy Dixon set it to the musical experience, and may it nourish your heart and soul and body.
Namaskar. Now I want you to allow yourself to reprogram your wonderful subconscious mind. Believe it or not, my master, who lived up to 125, said, you have all the right to become successful. You have a right to become a winner. You have a right to face your fear and also your ego. And that can only happen when you are coming from your own authenticity and your own being. And my master said that every day morning, if you speak these words in this way, the way I am sharing with you, you become unstoppable. Everything becomes a new dimension. You become a magnetic personality. Success, happiness, joy, relationship, everything will come to you as if you are a magnet. allow yourself to become that magnet. My wonderful child, you are having powerful, magnetic, dynamic, loving, healing, and happy personality. Your memory is improving. Your energy is improving. Your relationship with your body, mind, and emotions are improving dramatically. You are loving yourself because you are wonderful. You are loving yourself. You are liking yourself. Your self-esteem is becoming better. Your self-image is transforming into a magnetic personality. You are becoming unstoppable. You are able to achieve whatever you want in your life. The power is within you. You are able to touch, move, and inspire. Your power is touching hundreds of people, thousands of people, millions of people. You are able to achieve whatever you want from now because you have got powerful, positive, magnetic, dynamic, loving, healing, and happy personality. Your relationship with your family is improving. Your relationship in your work is improving. Your relationship with your customer, relationship with the people around you is dramatically improving. Your choices are becoming clearer. Your mind is powerful. Your brain is working in a creative way. And from today, any problems are turning into special opportunities. There are no problems. There are only challenges. You have a power to face them. You have a power to solve them. And then they are turning into opportunities. Buses of opportunities are now coming in your life. The only challenge will be which opportunity to take. There are three things: conscious mind, subconscious mind, and superconscious. Superconscious, you may call it Allah, Khuda, you may call it Vaheguru, Buddha, Christ, Krishna, you may call it Shiva. whatever name you want to give. That super conscious mind is with you. And that super conscious mind is going to guide you how to become a winner in every situation. Things are improving. Your energy is coming from within. The power is coming from within, which in ancient secrets is known as Shakti. Now you are becoming a powerful Shakti. Shakti which has no problems, only solutions. Shakti which has only feedback, there is no failure. Shakti which can turn any challenge into possibility. You are a person of possibility. Everything is possible in your life. From today, you are becoming unstoppable, very creative, a person of possibility. Now start your day with new ideas and everything will be possible. And now totally relax. Totally relax. All the wonderful ideas are sinking into your subconscious mind. And then from there, you are coming out like a new person. Totally relax. Go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Totally relax. Totally relax. You are unstoppable. You are a powerful force. Day by day and in every way, you are growing better and better and better. You have got powerful, positive, magnetic, dynamic, loving, healing, and lovely and happy personality. Whatever you are touching is transforming into opportunity. I love you. You are powerful. I know you are powerful. Totally relax. At the count of 6 to 1, you will open your eyes, feeling fresh, healthy, energetic, and unstoppable. 6, 5, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1. Slowly open your eyes. Now you are ready to face the world, face any situation, and you are becoming unstoppable. I love you. Congratulations. Namaskar.
Mhm.
I think I heard that for the first time today.
Mm.
After creating it, I think I heard it for the first time.
Mm.
It doesn't need to be shortened. I've been thinking it had to be shortened, and I finally heard it. It's amazing the layers of delusion that cover our receiving. It's amazing.
Mm.
I must have heard that 50 times in the creation of it, but I think I heard it for the first time just now.
Mm.
Thank you, Clint, for bringing me to Dr. Naram and devoting your life since I've met you, following him and supporting him and filming his miracles in cities around the world. And I remembered when we first met, before you met Dr. Naram, I asked what your mission was. And you said you were an emissary of peace. And then when Dr. Naram came into your life and you found yourself literally being with him around the world, you said, how can peace happen if people aren't feeling well and out of pain? And I'm so moved because the sensible pragmatism of that is what you spent your last 10 years following, the recognition that all of the illness, so much of it has come from an unattended capacity to drop into the rest and resonance that occurs. And your commitment to bring forward this work helps us let go of the addiction we have to the mainstream's identity of what it means to be healthy. And I just admire and thank you for the commitment you've made to synthesize the book into an experience that is being translated into 30 languages. And I'm so grateful for what you've given to us. And I just want to keep the energy kind of in the reverberations of what we just experienced. Isn't that funny that I'm saying that, Teresa? So that's my deep, I can never say thank you enough on behalf of all of us, what the contribution you've been making and are making, Clint.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary. I want to thank Dr. Naram. He also passed on. He's no longer in his body. And he had a mission that these ancient secrets would go into every home and every heart. And as I'm listening to that track, thinking of the gift of being with him and thinking of the gift that he didn't leave us, but he left us with so many powerful ancient secrets. From people just from reading this book, experiencing such deep healing, and that every Sunday we have a global healing miracle call. People from all over the world, these are the first 6 translations, just out of love, translated in Italian and Portuguese and Dutch and French and all these languages. Just coming out soon will be Farsi, Hindi, Gujarati, Japanese, Russian, Romanian, Arabic, Odia. I mean, like so many languages where his mission is becoming fulfilled. You know, that the ancient secrets are going in every heart and every home. And just thinking about the crazy life path, you know, he says in that track, I don't know if you listened to it, but he says, you know, when you drop into your authenticity, when you discover what you want, when you drop in that authenticity, you'll be able to touch, move, and inspire people. You'll touch hundreds of lives, thousands of lives, millions of lives. Through the TEDx talk that I gave, millions of people have heard it. Now through this book, literally millions of people's lives will be blessed. And I was so skeptical at the beginning, you know, so what can happen when you open yourself up to the nourishment of love? Let love guide you, you know, lean into love. I didn't come to teach you, I came to love you, and love will teach you. So,
You know, Clint, that thing, everyone comes to remember we're healing the world one heart at a time, that Michael Stillwater chant. You show me that one heart at a time, right up close and personal, right in the clinics. What you make it so pragmatic and intimate. Your willingness to be in the front lines of one-on-one moments of shifting paradigm and worldview, that we could take responsibility for our health by just putting some kitchen things together into something that doesn't make any sense to our pharmaceutical trained brain, you know. So just I'm aware of the fact that that you have a commitment that you have to honor at the 15 after the hour, and we'll continue till probably 30 after the hour. But I wanted to I'll let you be the deciding thing. We have another track, but of the receiving, art of receiving. But maybe we should just be with. We'll see. You have the choice, Clint, right now, because you have to leave in 7 minutes, right?
Teresa probably wants to share something, just because you mentioned, you know, the importance of one-on-one. You know, some people on this call, you may be thinking, I'm no one important, I'm no one special, or I don't know. Sometimes those thoughts can come into your brain, but if you're here on this call, there's a reason for it. You know, and by honoring the divine in you, divine gift that you are, there's gifts that only you have to share. You know, the ancient secrets aren't just about overcoming chronic and acute health challenges, although it does help with that. But then what do you do with your life once you have it? What do you do with your days, these days that we have, these precious days, and the secrets, the wisdoms? It's about, how do you discover what you want? How do you achieve what you want? And how do you do it in a way that you can enjoy? And I think this 2022 can be all about that kind of nourishment. There is one recipe on page 293 of the book that's specifically for immunity. And so during this time when everyone's sick and you know, afraid of catching something, I just wonder if I could just share real quick these ingredients, because it's in your own kitchen. Dr. Ram says everything can be a medicine or poison depending on how you use it. And you know, whether I can read this or not, I don't know if we have time, but I can give this as a gift to everyone, because it's amazing, it's delicious, it's healthy, and you can just use it right away with the ingredients in your own kitchen to boost your immunity, so that way you can live the life that you're here to experience.
It's up to you, brother.
Okay, I just read it real quick. You take a half a glass of milk. I mean, not milk. I'm sorry about that. Milk can be a medicine sometimes, but half a glass of water. Half a glass of water. You warm it. You put a half a teaspoon ginger juice or ginger powder, half a teaspoon turmeric powder, a fourth a teaspoon cinnamon powder, 11 to 12 tulsi or basil leaves if you have it. You mix it, and you put 1/8 teaspoon clove powder, 1 clove of garlic minced. You put 1 teaspoon of honey. You mix it all together. You drink it. My mom says it tastes like liquid ginger snaps. But this is amazing alchemy remedy for boosting your immunity that I think can help you. And the book is full of this kind of stuff where anything is a medicine or poison. Depending, and we're talking about nourishment. You want nourishment on such a deep level that it impacts you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
Teresa.
Well, Clint, thank you so much for all of your nourishment today. I really, I was very touched with the quality of your joy and your tenderness, and how they were coexisting in the sharing of, you know, these moments of healing or losing someone, and that you could carry those both through. And it was just beautiful, you know, thank you for that. And I also loved in the meditation how from this deep place of rest is where we're unstoppable. It's like that dynamic of just complete openness allows us to actually let the truth of who we are out, which is unstoppable. And Gary, I loved your instinct about playing the receive in order for us all here on the call to send Clint some love and appreciation. And then also, as we're listening to it, bring our hands into our own hearts at the end of it so that we can also receive in ways that we can be nourished for all we've done on the planet. So I think that's a good way to send Clint out.
Yeah, Clint, I know. So if you can stretch it just a little bit, I realized that I've never met anyone who was more tireless in his service to spreading love around to humanity like you have. And so my desire is to give you the gift of, and all of us the gift, like Teresa just said, of strengthening our capacity to receive. So as you listen, all of you, it's targeted to healthcare providers, healthcare professionals. But now that I realize we're all eco-healthcare providers, at this time we all need to be eco-healthcare providers because the world is deeply in need of us to be that. In the spirit of that, we require the muscle for receiving to fill our cup in order to give from a full cup. So this is Dr. Tom Lant, the famous nursing consultant, and he's speaking in a way that just really hits home. Let yourself experience this, and I encourage you to close your eyes and give it to yourself and follow his instructions. It's a short 4-minute piece.
Do you know how beautiful you are?
No, this is not the track, Kaylin. Sorry. It's the one that says The Art of Receiving. Do you have that? The Art of Receiving. You have it, right? Or do you need me to put it in? Yeah, there it is. I see it. Okay. It'll be coming forward, everybody, to you in a minute. Let's just all take a breath together as we, there it is. The beginning.
We don't just have jobs. We have callings. We have gifts. And we have the power to help people go to sleep at night and wake up in the morning with their mind and soul intact. How many people get to go to work every day and really get to make a contribution to another person's life? How many people get to make someone smile, feel better, cherish the next moment? That's what we get to do. Your life as a caregiver is an unfolding journey in exploring your world of possibilities. To those people you touch every day, you are their light of hope. I'd like to invite you in this moment to take your right hand and place it on your left shoulder. And your left hand and place it on your right shoulder. And imagine the embrace you would feel if every person that you had given care to in your life added their hands to your shoulders. In front of you, and behind you. You would begin to receive from all the people's lives that you have been the light of possibility for, held up by their thank yous, by their appreciation, and by their love. So any moment when you feel you need that extra special thank you, simply remember every person that you have given care to in your life. You are the light of possibility for the people you serve. Thank yourself for choosing to be a caregiver.
Thank you for showing us, Clint, that we are all in service to being caregivers to one another, to the earth, to the moment, to being present with the moment. And parting words, since I know you need to leave, I want to give you the chance to say something, and then Teresa and I will wrap things up without you. But
yeah, as I was listening to that, I was just in Europe. We launched the book in Italian and Italy and French and Switzerland, in the Netherlands in Dutch. And as a part of that, I remember I'm so good at giving love, but I'm not very good at receiving it. I'm not a very good receiver of love. It's hard actually for me to open my heart and let all that love in, and I was actually in Italy, in Rome, and a dear friend invited me to this experience where he brought me into, like, it was a private church that's only accessible to the president, the Congress, and a certain order of knights. And in that space, actually, it was so beautiful. He asked me, "What do you want?" Dr. Ram always says, "What do you want?" I says, "I want to be better at receiving love." And in that context, actually, he had arranged it so that I would be knighted. and as I was doing it, he spoke such powerful words. Everyone in there was like billionaires in the audience, royalty from all different countries, all kinds of stuff. And I was like, oh, I wanted to be better at receiving love. So I tried to listen so hard to his words as he was speaking. And as I went to turn to my seat, I remember everyone in the whole church just started applauding. And I just remember just doing my best to, like, let that love in. And here's a picture from in front of the Colosseum,
wow.
And I just remember sitting down and in that space just saying, thank you, God. Thank you for this journey of life. Thank you for even all the unexpected, things that we think are maybe challenges. But Dr. Ram, in that quote, he said, there's no problems, there's just opportunities, and to see that, all of us can follow that path of love, to follow even the opening quote in this book, I didn't come to teach you. I came to love you, and love will teach you, and love will guide you. And opportunities are available in 2022 for you to just choose yes to life, to choose yes to your own healing, to honor the divine that is within you, and allow the ripples of that love to go from you out to the whole planet. And so thank you, Gary, for giving us that beautiful experience. Teresa, for, I feel, your embrace in that as well. And for everyone who's on this call, Thank you for choosing love, for choosing life, for choosing healing, and for saying yes to this experience.
And Clint, full disclosure, Clint is also a co-creator in Wisdom of the World Wellness. And your parting words, because I know you have to go, just what is it about the art of using music as a resonance cultivation tool that made you want to say, be a co-creator of Wisdom of the World with me in these last many years?
So beautiful. Yeah. Well, there's nothing that we really need to say because you just experienced it. All, yeah, it changes. Like you listen to movies, you get pulled in because of the soundtrack. And, what if you had a soundtrack for your life, for this beautiful, epic life that you are living? And for 2022, why not make your soundtrack something so remarkable that you can rest in resonance, that it nourishes you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, so that you can be, like Dr. Naram said, unstoppable. You have a divine, you're a divine being. There's a quote saying, we're not physical beings having spiritual experiences, but we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. Literally, you're unstoppable. Even death will not stop you. Love is eternal. Love, the love that is in you, that is you, will never die. So why not, while you're in this body, while you're on this experience, why not we take away some of the pain, some of the physical, mental, emotional pain? Why not release that now? Why not live your best health in this year, your best happiness, your best abundance, and follow the impulse of love, every impulse of love. 12 years ago, I followed that impulse of love. Gary and I did 10 days to touch 10 million. And through that, I became associated with Wisdom of the World and with this music and how it infuses our lives. And then that became the soundtrack for the most amazing journey with Dr. Naram over 10 years, and the most amazing journey now of seeing the ancient secrets go in the world. So what will happen to you when you change your vibration just by listening to music, by just nourishing yourself with mung soup?
We need to move it forward, but I so enjoyed this call, Clint. And Teresa, why don't you wrap it? And I love you, and I'm with you. The great phrase that is said at the end of Clint's Ancient Secrets call is, I love you, and I'm with you. And by the way, if somebody, I think Jana or someone could put the link to the miracle call that you offer on Sunday morning, and also you'll get some links now in the following. But I love you and I'm with you, Clint. Thank you for being on this call today.
Love you and I'm with you.
I love you too, Clint. We've just met, but I'm just madly in love. Let's have a hangout and spend some time together.
Take it away, Teresa.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and share some about your work, Clint. So if you need to go, that's fine. But I'm going to share my screen. So just a few announcements, and then we'll end with a piece of music. So remember, this is part of the 7 days of sacred rest and renewal. And you can go and find the recordings of our sessions. I've also put them on the Global Coherence Pulse. And I just want to say there was a problem with the recording yesterday, somebody said, and so I'll go and fix it and re-upload it there, but we'll be posting them every day. And there's so many other events that are happening. And if you go there and look at the calendar for the day, you'll be amazed. So there's lots of opportunities for you to nourish yourself today. And thanking Clint again, so wonderful to have such a heart being on the call with us. And I think, our ability to open to receive the love that's coming into us is one of the most important ways that we can nourish ourselves. So Clint, thanks for opening to that in all of us. And we have I'll put a link in the chat to Clint's book, The Ancient Secrets of Master Healer. Sounds like it's a perfect book for us to have as we begin the new year and begin to nourish ourselves in a deep way. And he gave us this video. Every time you purchase a book, it goes to support these kids. So every purchase of that book goes to support these beautiful children in the orphanage. And Clint, I don't know if you're on, but if you are, if you want to say something about this before we go.
these orphan kids in Nepal. Dr. Ram took me here. I was almost 10 years ago. And he said, now these are your kids, you know, and they've changed my life. The earthquakes happened, their whole home was destroyed. And through it, there's so much love that can happen when you support orphan kids, when you support those that need it the most. And just really, we wanted to make it so everyone who purchased the book, they knew they were getting some of that benefit of that love from these beautiful orphan kids. So just in this video, they say, we love you.
Let's hear it again. It's so cute. Beautiful. So we'll all know that energy is going to the kids. And of course, Gary, we're putting links in the chat. So all of this music you can find there. So please go and visit it. I downloaded a bunch of things. I've been listening in my car on the way to the event and on my way home and while I'm editing the videos. Just a really great way for us to continue to connect in with this energy. So much richness on the website. Global Coherence Pulse, I'll put a link for that too. So a week after we finish the Rest and Sacred Renewal week-long event, we'll have Shelley back and we'll reflect on what our experience has been on the Pulse together. And if you are looking for a place to really be in the practice of cultivating coherence and really staying in this for the year, we invite you to join our Islands of Coherence member community. We are in there really dedicated to becoming an island of coherence individually and collectively. And it is a safe place, like this is today, for us to be able to really go deep and heal ourselves, empower ourselves, and really shine. And tomorrow is January 3rd, and our theme is cultivating, and it'll just be Gary and I. I'll be the guest on that show. So Gary, we'll have a fun time together with cultivating. And I'm so excited that we're doing cultivating. It's interesting that you chose that one for me. Because I speak about that all the time. I use that word. I say that one of the most essential things that we could be doing on the planet right now is cultivating greater coherence in the heart of our lives and in the world.
You think it was random that I came up with you matching this day? I'll get off now, but I just couldn't resist because you are all about helping us cultivate. So that's one of the things I love about you.
Well, let's stay, Gary, stay on, because we're going to just close with a piece of music, beautiful. And I just want to invite everyone today, with the today being nourishing, everything you do today, have it be about nourishing yourself and your environment and the people around you. Let's just dedicate today to really filling up with nourishment and opening to receive the love that is all around us. I think maybe that's some of the tears as we relax, that was really came up today. I really appreciate so much. We really let this emotion start to emerge today. We let some of the space between the spaces kind of open up. And so part of the nourishing might be, I think I might have a good cry today. Yeah, that would be nourishing too.
Yeah, I think that something really, for me, opened to another layer of receiving the rest and sacred renewal. And a couple of things before I set this up. First of all, thank you, all of you, for being with us, even in the fluidity of time frames. I remember when Archon Lushwala said that Gaia's pace is not sticking to schedule. Schedules are not part of Gaia's experience. The Earth pace has its own rhythm, and it's not based on nice little numbers like 11 o'clock or 11:30 and all that. So thank you, all of you, for your fluidity and going with that with us. Another comment I want to make before we play this is, many of you are noticing that we're hearing a lot of spoken word and music pieces, and that rather than just pure music, which I love as well. What I've noticed, though, is that that's my yearning, is to feel a balance between head and heart and allow our words to reclaim its birthright as a delivery system of meaning and heart and soul, rather than an orphan set apart from all our other parts, which is what the culture models. And so if you guys, there's a lot of music to be experienced at wisdomoftheworld.com, but in the Rest in Resonance, I am using a lot of this modeling of words infused with, drenched in, immersed in, surrounded by loving presence and loving awareness, because we need that. I need that. I think we all need that to rest and reclaim the word as not being something that takes us away from ourselves, but into ourselves. So in the spirit of that, you want to say anything before I go into this, Teresa? All right. In the spirit of that, I really encourage you to close your eyes and receive this as if God herself, Mother Earth herself, your guardian angel herself or itself, is speaking directly to you. Allow that to be something you can receive. And this is a transformance that was improvised by me and Sarah McCrum about 3 years ago, and I hope you enjoy it.
Mhm.
Do you know how beautiful you are? Have you ever stopped to look at yourself? To see yourself in your truth? In the clarity of who you are? In your magnificence? If only you could see what I can see. If only you could know what I know of you. You would stand before yourself in awe. You would see yourself you would feel yourself. You would know yourself. And so I invite you in this moment to see how beautiful you are. To see yourself in clarity, in simplicity, in your true nature. I invite you to see yourself. You are so beautiful.
You're so beautiful, Gary.
You're so beautiful, Teresa. You're so beautiful, Kaylin. Thank you for your support.
Oh, everybody on this call, you're so beautiful. I so feel everyone so deeply today. We really did take this into a deep chamber, and we'll just continue. I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow and share this love out into the world. But first and foremost, nourish yourself.
Amen.
Amen. Love you. Bye, everyone. See you
Love you, and I'm with you
tomorrow.
all. Thank you.